Welcome back to LearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and as you can tell from the countdown clock, the lesson is about to get started. In case you're new with this, there's a few things I'd like to show you to help you throughout the lesson. So this lesson is about reharmonization. That means we're going to take an existing song and we're going to find new chords to play over the same melody. Now, that means that you're probably going to need to already know about chords and keys and probably intervals, and probably have already several songs that you can play well enough that they actually sound like the song. But even if you can't do that, you might pick up some interesting theory bits along the way. So feel free to join us. The goal, though, is not this song. It's not about the song that we're working on. It's really about taking the concepts you like, the reharmonizations, the substitutions that you like from this lesson, and then applying them to other songs that you already know how to play. These lessons are always guided and shaped by your questions, and if you're live with us today, there's a couple different ways you can do that. One is in the public live chat, and the other is the Ask Jamin a Question button, where you can ask me a question privately, and I won't share your identity in case you're afraid that your question is stupid. But it's not. If you're in the archives, though, then just open up the survey. At the end of that, there's a place where you can ask your question. I will say I frequently get questions from students in the archives watching a lesson from 6 months ago, and I have no idea what they're talking about. So please try to be as specific as possible. If you're watching this at LearnPianoLive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The PDF will often have additional video links inside, so you can get more in-depth instruction on each of the topics. And if you're the kind of person who likes to print out the PDF so you can make the same notes on your physical version as I'm making during the lesson, now would be the time to do that. The MP3 is just a play-along track so you can practice more after the lesson. In traditional lessons, a teacher is going to actually present some new concept for maybe 5 or 10 minutes every couple weeks. The rest of the time is going to be spent applying and refining those concepts. Well, here I'm spouting off hours of new information every week, so it's totally unreasonable to expect you to actually absorb all of that. Instead, the goal of these live lessons is for you to find some little nugget of something that makes sense, but is a bit of a challenge, and for you to go practice it, because practice is where all the improvement's going to happen. So don't feel bad if you have to leave the live lesson when you find that little thing that you're going to practice. And of course, if I'm going too fast, you can always rewind the live lessons or replay in the archives as much as you want. If these live lessons start feeling random or meandering, it's because they are, on purpose. So if you're the kind of person who wants classical training with a step-by-step method, then you're going to want to check out Kloppel Academy on the website. It's included in your live lesson subscription, so you can do both or either. And the upper levels are seriously hard work, but it's going to take you all the way from ground zero all the way up to being ready to enter any major music college as a piano major in classical or jazz. And thankfully, I think that's about all we need to cover before the lesson. So if you'd stick around afterwards and fill out the survey, I would love your feedback. But for now, let's have some fun and make some music. Welcome back to LearnPianoLive.com. Those effects are still on. My name is Jamin, and this is the incomparable Kendra.
Guess what? My head is less big on there
Hey,
now.
you're welcome.
So I'm very happy.
You're welcome.
But actually, I started reading this book series called The Lunar Chronicles, and I know what you all are thinking. Wow, Kendra read more books. That's a shock.
Yeah.
But I've been told by like 3 people to read these for the past like
The Lunar Chronicles?
The Lunar Chronicles.
Okay.
And they are so good. And
I feel like you feel that way about a lot of books.
I do.
Oh, no, wait, hang on. I was going to ask if you've ever read a book that you didn't like, but you told me about that one, and then we can't say that on the broadcast. But that's right. There was that one that you really hated.
I'm not following, but yes, there are books that I don't like.
Yeah, okay,
yes.
Cool. We won't name any of those.
Okay.
Sorry, I almost got you in trouble. Let's play this week's song, which is Danny Boy. We already did the tutorial on this, so we already talked about how to play all the notes. We're going to go through it and just play that once through so that you can see what we did before. And if you are not up to this point yet, then probably the reharm video is not going to be the best for you. If we could get the other view that has the tablet in there, that'd be great. So it goes something like this. Oh, yeah, can we get the keys and the tablet and all that stuff? We got kind of a funky view. There we go. So that's where we're starting, and then we want to take that and just change the chords around a whole lot. And your play-along track, your MP3, will have Kendra singing all of this melody, but for today we're just going to play through the melody so we can maybe speed it up or slow it down a little bit as we go. The first thing we want to do, as we talk about in learnpianolive.com/reharm, is we want to add 7s, 9s, and 6s to these chords. So that just means that within the key of C, we're going to add in the 7 of each chord. So our first chord here, for example, is a C chord, and that'd be the 1, the 3, and the 5, because starting on C, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could add in the 6, and or the 7, or the 9. That'd be the 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So any of those notes are optional additional notes that we can add into that C chord. Then on the F chord, we do the same thing. The 1, the 3, and the 5 of the F chord. That would be the 6, and the 7, and the 9 of that. Man, we usually don't add in all of those, but that's really pretty, actually. So if we just added in 6s and 7s and 9s, it would be something like this. Kind of like that by itself. Man, we didn't even reharm anything. We didn't even change any chords. We just added the 6s and the 7s, the 9s to everything, which means pretty much on every chord you can play pretty much any note. So just by smashing down notes, if I were to play like a second verse of that, I might get even more aggressive in the notes that I added in. So it could be something like, ooh, that was, you're not supposed to include any black notes. Yeah, that's as random as it looks. It's really just that 4 that we don't want to include. Everything else sounds great. So I'm just smashing down a whole ton of notes. Everything except for the 4. And that's 6s and 7s and 9s. Okay, well, we're going to wreck that, whatever sounded good of that, by playing the 5 of any chord before it. So that's the next thing we would do to reharm this thing. So the 5 of any chord is the 5 of the chord. So in a C chord, the 5 of the C chord is 1, 3, and 5, as we already discussed. So a G would be the 5 of C. So that means before we play the C, we could just play a G. So right in here, oh my goodness. This is going to become an important factor here if I cannot write with my pen. Yeah. So let's take a short break, actually, and I gotta figure out. Oh, really?
Cool. It's time for the feature of the day, which today is the album of the day.
The album of the day is Root Down by Jimmy Smith. Hang on, let me go grab that album.
Well, hello, everyone. I have the camera to myself.
Yeah,
right
I did
now.
mean that literally.
Oh.
This one right here. You got to go get this thing. This is some awesome B3 organ work. If you are new to appreciating B3 organ, jazz and or gospel stuff, this is the one you want. Go check this out. Root Down, Jimmy Smith. The live version is pretty awesome. That's the one. So I guess that means we're gonna get back to this with a working pen after this short break. So sadly, the lesson preview has come to an end, and it's time to say goodbye to everyone watching the free streams. Of course, paying subscribers at learnpianolive.com can continue watching this lesson and several hundred others like it in the archives. So come on over and check us out, and if you like what you saw, at least like and subscribe, and then tell your friends to head on over to learnpianolive.com to start enjoying this journey with us.